All right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So for today's workout, we are going up and up and up this ladder. We're going to be doing handstand push-ups, over the bar burpees, stepping, and power snatches. Starting off with 2 reps of each, then going up to 10 reps of each. And we may be looking at this thinking, okay, now he's finally lost his mind. He wants me to do what? Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it. Right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up. Here we go. Let's get some arm circles going back, arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I am a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years, helping many people just like you live their best life through health and fitness. Let's move on to arms across the chest. Hug yourself, love yourself. One of the ways I've been privileged to help you guys live your best life is through Habit Master Coaching. And whether that's Habit Master Health Coaching, dialing in some healthy habits such as drinking more water, getting more sleep, planning out those meals, or it could be we're talking about Habit Master Private Training. Either way, if you've benefited from private coaching, how has it helped you? Let's move on to the wrist wave, and let's hear first from Bird Dog. Go ahead, say your name, where you're from, and how has Habit Master Coaching helped you to stay on track?
I'm Robin from Texas. I don't trust myself to stay on track, so I need help. But I did a little coaching session with one of the coaches, and she helped. It was way more than just workout advice and how to do that. It was life advice, really. Like it covered diet, exercise, and water, and sleep, and all the things. So I was really surprised, like what that program all entailed. So it impressed me, and it really made me do a self-examination of what I wanted, what my goals were. I changed up my why. It was awesome. So I highly recommend.
Looking into that mirror and then moving forward with it. So thank you so much, Bird Dog, and it's really a privilege to see your progress. Let's move on to some high knees. High knees into chest, or if it works better, we can do some high elbows like this. And while we are doing this, let's hear from Betty Boop. Go ahead, say your name, where you're from, and how has Habit Master Coaching helped you to stay on track?
Hi, I'm Maggie from South Florida, and I had a session with the private coaching, and oh boy, she pushed me to the limit. Coach D, boy, she let me have it. You know, I was so accustomed to doing the push-ups. That's still my nemesis off of the counter, but she had me down to the desk, and so I try as much as I can to keep doing that. It's a lot harder, but yeah, it's very motivating. So I would encourage anybody to do it.
And thank you, Betty Boop. So glad you survived that session. Not just survived, but thrived. And it's really a pleasure to see how coachable you are and how much you progress as well. Let's move on to some calf raises. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or if it works better, we can do some wrist extensions like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, and how has Habit Master Coaching helped you to stay on track?
Hi, my name is Renicia. I'm from Georgia. The Habit Master Coaching have helped me to stay on track, either with the health part of it or to seeing what movements I can improve or I have to change. It really have helped me to with my goals and help me to try new things. So with the Habit Master Coaching, it really helped took me out of my comfort zone.
Out of your comfort zone, but definitely into the stratosphere of fitness. So thank you so much, Mighty Mouse. It's definitely always a pleasure to see how coachable you are and to see where you're at now. Let's move on to some jumping jacks, or we could do some stepping jacks if we want low impact. And so habit master coaching is the best way to get what you individually need out of this program. And it's a fast track to toward your goals that are most important to you. And if you want to know more about how that works, please click that link that's in this video, or feel free to message me directly for details. Let's go ahead and take a break from the warm-up, guys, and we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. So the first thing we're going to do is bird dogs, and you already know who's going to show us a couple reps here. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those bird dogs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 bird dogs together. Now, it could be that being on our hands and knees is a bit hard on those joints, in which case we may choose to do the dead bug instead, like Betty Boop is doing here. That's where we're laying on our back and we've got the arms in the air, legs in the air, and then we're lowering opposite arm, opposite leg, and keeping the other arm and leg stationary. But if we're doing the bird dog as prescribed, we're on hands and knees, raising opposite arm, opposite leg. And yeah, we can have cats in the frame too, no problem with that. And we're holding the top there for about 2 seconds before switching sides. And so good job on these bird dogs. Next, we're going to do a walk the floor from the straddle position. Let's have Ironman Dean demonstrate 1 rep for us with those feet nice and wide in the straddle position. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the walk the floor is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 walk the floors together. Now, it could be that getting all the way down to the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case we have a couple options here. We can do this walk the floor down to the plank. Let's have bird dog demonstrate where we walk those hands out to that plank position and then walk it back and then reach back at the top. Or it could be that we choose to do this off of an inclined surface. Let's have Betty Boop demonstrate here. It could be off of a counter, it could be off a wall, or whatever is needed, off a sofa. But we start with those feet in nice and close, and then we take a big step back and then a big step forward, and then we clap overhead. But if we're doing this walk the floor as prescribed, we've got those feet nice and wide. We're getting all the way down, chest to the ground, leading with the hips on the way back up, reaching back at the top to finish that motion. And so good job here on these walk the floors. Next, we're going to grab our favorite broomstick and we're going to do some pass-throughs. And let's have Betty Boop demonstrate 2 pass-throughs for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the pass-through is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 pass-throughs together. So on the pass-through, we are going to have a nice wide grip on that broomstick. And we're going to pull it up and over all the way around, touching that lower back in the back, belly button in the front. And Bird Dog knows the secret to a good pass-through is that smile that relaxes the muscles and helps us to have a nice fluid range of motion. So good job here on these pass-throughs. Next, we're going to do some snatch grip deadlifts. And first, let's have Bird Dog show us how we're holding this thing. We've got a nice wide grip on the bar, and we've got that hook grip on there. So thumbs wrapped around, fingers over the thumb. And let's go ahead and see 2 snatch grip deadlifts. So yeah, just the deadlift. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then that snatch grip deadlift is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 deadlifts together. So on this deadlift, the feet are going to be close together underneath the hips, and we're going to have those hips super low, chest up, shoulders back. And we've got the hands nice and wide because we are doing some snatches with this eventually. But then we're going to take a deep breath in and brace that core as we drive the ground away, getting to a fully standing position with those shoulders back at the top, and then keeping that bar close on the way back down as well. And so good job on this snatch grip deadlift. Next, we're going to do some snatch high pulls, and let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 reps of that high pull, keeping the elbow high and outside above the bar at the top. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the snatch high pull is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 snatch high pulls together. So on the snatch high pull, we're going to start in the very same way as that snatch grip deadlift, except at the top, we're going to get those elbows high and outside like we're a scarecrow. And so we are popping with the power of the hips and then getting those elbows high and outside, keeping it close to the body, adding some speed past the knees. And so good job here on these snatch high pulls. And finally, we're going to do some strict press. And let's go ahead and have Ironman Dean demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then that strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together. So on that strict press, those hands are going to be right about shoulder width, and we are pressing that head through, pressing those arms back, getting those biceps into the ear at the top. And we want to get those elbows nice and high in the rack position when we bring it back down to the shoulders. And so good job here on the strict press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we are doing in today's workout. The first move is going to be handstand push-ups. Now, as the name implies, this is a very high skill body weight movement that involves us getting into a handstand, usually against the wall. And that handstand push-up is going to look like this. Now, it's very important that we do not try to get into a handstand push-up position unless we've been coached in private coaching. But we're going to go through some progressions and some options that will help us to get there. So the first option is going to be straddle pike push-ups. And let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 reps of the straddle pike push-up for us. Now, if this is a very challenging position for us, then we can just choose to do some incline push-ups. Let's have Betty Boop demonstrate here. And this can be off a counter, off a wall, or whatever surface that we need to do these incline push-ups. And from the seated position, what I'd like us to do is actually grab a couple light dumbbells, and we are going to do some overhead press for the handstand push-ups today. So let's everyone join in, and let's do 5 reps of the straddle pike push-up together. And this is important. Even if we have the skill of handstand push-ups, it's good to go through these progressions and to work toward the full movement that we're going to do. But we have those feet nice and wide, like we were doing in the warm-up. And we want to think about rolling forward until that head is flat on the ground, and then pushing back until we get those arms fully locked out. Now, after we've done these straddle pike push-ups, if we feel so inclined, we could also do some assisted handstand push-ups with some knees on an elevated surface, such as a chair or a box or something along those lines. And let's have Bird Dog demonstrate a couple reps here. And once again, if we do not feel comfortable with this position, we can just stick to that incline push-up either off the counter or whatever other incline surface that we were using. So let's go ahead and get a couple practice reps there of either the incline push-up. If we're still doing that, maybe we can experiment with a lower incline surface. Or if we feel like we can get those knees up on an elevated surface, then we can do that. Now, finally, if we do have the skill of handstand push-ups, and we've been coached in some private sessions, we can practice kicking up to the wall. Let's have Bird Dog show us how it's done. We want to make sure we're a good distance away from the wall, and that we want to have a good strong kick and a nice, confident, solid overhead position. And we are not trying this unless we've been coached in private sessions. But then we can do some assisted handstand push-ups from the handstand position using however much or however little incline surface as needed. So Bird Dog has that pillow there. And just one detail I would say is as you're pushing up, Bird Dog, let's push that head through. That's going to help activate those trap muscles and then make that move better for you. So we're going down normal, but then you push your head through on the way back up. And we'll get that. It takes a lot of practice. There you go, much better. That one is what we're going to do in the workout. But good job here on whatever version of the push-up that we choose to do. The second move that we are doing is over the bar burpees, specifically lateral over the bar burpees, stepping over the bar today. And let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 reps of these over the bar burpees. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the burpee is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of this over the bar burpee together. Now, to be clear, we're stepping over the bar as we do, the lateral step portion of it, but we can choose to jump those burpees if we want to on the way back. And so we're getting those hands on the ground and either jumping or stepping the legs back, jumping or stepping the legs forward. It's just the over the bar portion today that I want us to just step. And then just like we saw Bird Dog do there. Now it could be that, hey, getting down to the ground is a challenge. Then we've got options there too. We can do the burpee down to the plank. We get those hands on the ground and either jump or step those legs back to a plank position. And then we step over the bar. Or if we want to do the burpee, perhaps to an inclined surface. Let's have Betty Boop demonstrate here. We could do this off of a counter or off a sofa. Where we start with those feet up against an inclined surface. And then we take a couple steps back. And then a couple steps forward. And then we clap overhead. And that is an inclined burpee. But good job here on whatever version of the burpee that we choose to do. The third move that we are doing today is the power snatch. So let's go ahead and grab that broomstick and let's look on as Bird Dog demonstrates 2 reps of the power snatch for us with a nice wide grip on that bar. And let's see one more. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the power snatch is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the power snatch together. So on this power snatch, those feet are going to start close together underneath the hips. And we've got those hands nice and wide in the snatch grip. But we've got the hips low, chest up, shoulders back. And then we are going to jump and punch that broomstick overhead and then stand to finish. And notice how Betty Boop is punching into a quarter squat here and then standing to finish to lock it out overhead. Now, if the jumping and landing is a bit much for us, then we don't need to necessarily jump and land. We can do what's called a muscle snatch, which is where we hit that same snatch position without that jump and land. We just start low, punch high, get it straight overhead in one motion. And so good job here on the power snatch. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight in today's workout, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 3 to 5 practice reps of that power snatch at a time, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for the workout. Or if we have not been earning badges, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, let's not add any weight. That super light weight that we were just using in the warm-up is going to be more than enough for us today. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all our habits before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. So important, I want you to listen to your music. You don't have to listen to my music. You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? The reps start low, then they go high, and it's easy to lose track of where we are and what's coming up next. So the best way to keep track of all that is having the workout written down close by. So if you're a teacher's pet like Bird Dog, winning the Teacher's Pet Award today, let's go ahead and show that whiteboard on screen, and let's show off how prepared you are. So here we go, Teacher's Pet picture. In 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we are about to do this ascending ladder workout. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of handstand push-ups, over the bar burpees, and power snatches. So on the handstand push-ups, let's make sure we are picking an appropriate option for us. It could be that we choose to do the incline push-ups off of a counter, if that's what we need to do today. Other than that, we've got the straddle pike push-ups that we can do off the ground, but anything else above that, whether it's getting the knees up on an elevated surface or certainly kicking up into a handstand, we are not doing those unless we've been coached in private sessions. On these over the bar burpees, we can jump the burpee portion of it. I just want us to step over the bar on the step over portion of it today. Maybe in the last round, if you feel like you want to go fast, if you want to jump over the bar, be my guest. But I want us to experiment with that step over today, as opposed to jumping every single rep. And then on those power snatches, we are not adding weight unless we've been earning badges and we are using a weight that we can hopefully challenge ourselves to go unbroken through most of these rounds. Certainly in the round of 2 and 4, and definitely 6, we should be able to get all those snatches in a row without putting the bar down. Maybe in the rounds of 8 and 10, we may decide to take a quick break just for fatigue and recovery. So your score is going to be the time it takes to get through these 3 rounds of ascending reps of handstand push-ups, stepping over the bar burpees, and power snatches, starting with 2 of each in the first round, 4 in the second round, 6 in the third, 8 of each in the fourth, and then 10 of each in that last 5th round. If you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here, and we will get this started. I am going to highlight Bird Dog to get us going after a 10-second countdown. So here we go, guys. 2 handstand push-ups, or something like it. 2 stepping over the bar burpees, 2 power snatches, and then it's all uphill from there. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these handstand push-ups, pushing the head through as we get up, going down normal. Nice work there. And after those 2, we are going to these burpees here, jumping or stepping down, but then let's hit that step over the bar. And then we are hitting the 2 snatches. And this first round going by in the blink of an eye. And then just like that, we're going to be going on to the round of 4. So we got Mighty Mouse already making fast work of that round of 2 and moving on to the round of 4, finishing off. And we are doing this here, guys, making our way up this ladder. And Betty Boop as well, making some progress, doing the burpee down to the plank, getting low to the ground, and then hitting those snatches. And we've got Noxie with a watchful eye on Iron Man Dean over there. Dean keeping that bar close, jumping, punching that bar overhead. But making our way up this ladder here, guys, on an ascending, a lot of times we'll do the descending ladder where we'll start high and then work our way low. When it's an ascending ladder like this, it's because I want us to challenge ourselves to do something hard and perhaps even to stay unbroken if we can. But we've got Bird Dog doing the hard things, sticking with this challenging option. Iron Man Dean choosing to do the straddle pike push-ups. And the challenge with the straddle pike push-up is let's get those hands as close as we can to the feet to really get as vertical as we can on this push. But nice work here. And Mighty Mouse doing all the standing options. Love to see everyone's progress. Iron Man Dean getting low. Mighty Mouse doing some overhead press for the dumbbells from the standing position though. So nice work here, guys. We are making our way up this ladder. Everyone on track to finish within today's target window. And as you know, in this program, we've got shorter workouts, we've got longer workouts. Sometimes they're light, sometimes they're heavy. Sometimes they're heavy on the skill. So today is a heavy skill day with that handstand push-up. Bird Dog held out as long as she could and now going up just a little bit to get through this next big round here. Looks like probably the round of 8. But we are making our way up this ladder here, guys. Getting through these push-ups, getting through these burpees, getting through these snatches. All the way down, all the way up. So nice work here, getting low, getting up, getting over. Dean. Jumping these burpees, but hitting that step over. We are making our way through here, guys. Choosing some challenging weights, some challenging movement options, but climbing that ladder, 1 rep at a time, getting through these sets. So Bird Dog holding onto that bar there, using the power of the hips, the power of the legs to get that overhead. Betty Boop as well, snatching heavy. So most of us closing out this round of 8, going into this last round of 10. Bird Dog getting psyched up for this. Going down, pressing that head through. Keeping that bar close to the body on the snatch there, using the power of the hips and the legs. We are jumping that up, punching that back. So this last round of 10 is the big test, mentally and physically. We are doing our thing, getting through this one rep at a time. Getting down, getting up, getting over. And we are breathing, pushing, getting through this here. And as we get close to that finish line, we know what to do. We hit that buzzer, we yell time, we cheer on our family. There goes Bird Dog, picking up that bar for what looks like the last time here. Keeping it close, jumping it up, punching that back. Everyone finishing off these burpees, it looks like. Mighty Mouse joining in on these snatches. Keeping it close, arms nice and wide. And we're breathing and we're pushing. Making our way up, and there goes Bird Dog across the finish line. Ironman Dean making his way there. Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Betty Boop taking a breather and then about to pick up this bar in the last round as well. So let's breathe, let's get through it here. And there goes Ironman Dean. And let's cheer on Betty Boop. She's got just a couple snatches left. Challenging herself on the way to that bar.
You got this, Betty Boo.
Just a couple more to go.
You got this.
Almost there. And there it goes, Betty Boop across the finish line. Well, that was exciting as always, guys. But now we are at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do today is the scorpion stretch. That's going to be where we lay face down. We've got those arms out to the side, and we're going to get the left foot going right as close as we can to the right hand like this. And while we're doing this, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. And let's hear first from Bird Dog. If we're doing this from the seated position, we're gonna get that left arm up and pull like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Bird Dog?
My high was the handstand push-ups. I think the last time I did them, I ended with on the chair or pike push-ups. So that was a new high for me, even though I modified with an extra pillow. I was like, I'm going to stay upside down on this whole workout. So I did. That was my high. Low was the burpees. I gave out. I was disappointed. I think it's because you use so much of the wrist and the handstand push-ups that I gave that all I got, and so I didn't have much left for the burpees. And Buffalo, what? I mean, Matty Mouse, what happened today? Oh, I have no idea. I zoned out, but good job, team, anyway.
Oh man, I love that friendly competition. But yes, super proud of the choices that you made, Bird Dog. Staying on the wall the whole time. That was a very important milestone. And making smart choices with the other moves because, hey, we're in this for the long haul, right? And so good job, Bird Dog. Let's go ahead and let's hit Scorpion on the other side. So we got the right foot going left. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Mighty Mouse rebuttal over there. And if we're doing this in a seated position, we got the right arm up and pulling to the side like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was the power snatch. I used the heavier bar instead of the one I normally use. I didn't have a low, but my buffalo was I did not take a break. But I was pushing through that last round of 10. I thought I was gonna have to sit down, but I made it.
That you did. And I guess that answers that question. You were challenging yourself with a heavier bar, did the whole thing from the standing position, didn't even sit down once. Man, love to see that progress and that stamina. Good job, Mighty Mouse. And let's now switch to Dragon. We're gonna get the one leg forward, other leg back, and we are leaning into this nice long lunge position like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Betty Boop. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're gonna twist toward the right, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Betty Boop?
Oh my. My high, I think, is the snatches. My low is always when it ascends, and I know you explained the reason that you do that, and so I put that to my mind, so it's not as low as it was when I first saw it. And then I think my buffalo is that I did, which started off easy because there was only 2 push-ups off of the desk, which is the lowest, and I stayed on the desk for as we got up to 10. It got harder and harder. I was trying not to snake it, but I did it. that was my buffalo that I did that, and it was a good work. I can't believe how out of breath I am still. Thanks, Coach.
Oh, and thank you for hitting the nail with the stimulus we were looking on these ascending ladder. We do these because we want to try something special. And I know you've been back and forth with using that lower surface for the push-up, but it makes me really happy to hear that you were able to stick with that throughout the whole thing, because it started low and then you're like, you know what, I can do this next round, I can do this next round. And before you know it, we've done the whole thing. And so good job for trying new things and sticking with it. And let's go ahead and switch to the Dragon on this side while we hear from Iron Man Dean, if Noxie will let him. And if we are doing this from the seated position, we are going to twist toward the left, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Dean?
Yeah, the high was the workout because it was a shorter one, which I was looking forward to because I'm a bit tired today. The low, I'd obviously like to do the handstand push-ups at some point, so I need to practice on that. But I didn't really have a low today, and the buffalo was really just getting through the workout and finishing.
And there you go. We know that it's later over there, of course, across the pond, but you are fitting this in despite your busy schedule, which is really a compliment to all of us. We've got a lot of things going on in our life, but the fact that you can fit this in with everything you got going on is awesome, and it shows that you prioritize your health. So good job, Dean. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left. This sweaty selfie, because does it count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera, guys, and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's go ahead and put the fists in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit crew!
Mm.
Thank you guys so much. If you enjoy this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.